every Ding Dong Friday. And we thank you so much for being along with us on Facebook Live. Of course, that's where we are. And of course, this is a day that everybody looks forward to, right? That Friday. And well, what can I tell you? We always look forward to it. It only seems like yesterday we were here. And as I go along, I want to thank all of you guys on Facebook, all of you viewers over there on YouTube too. And here we're second week in a row on YouTube. So thank you guys, YouTube viewers. Now, as opposed to last week, you are welcome to chime in on YouTube. Just like the people on Facebook, they can make their greetings. They can say hi, and we want to say hi to you. So you're able to do that. We didn't do that last week, but we figured it all out, and we've got it all together today. But anyway, we're going to be here for the next hour. We invite you to stay along with us. And as you do, you have a little coffee with us, because what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee, right? So here's to you. Jindani, may you live 100 years. We got a good show for you today. First, I must say that we have our 2020 feature like we always do. And for those who view on YouTube, we do this every week. We're here every week between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. Eastern. Make sure you check your time zone on that. That's Eastern time. And later on in the program, we're going to have our 2020 feature that features Bryant Camp with Sports 20 after the hour with Sports Update, and 20 to the hour with DJ Pete. He'll be along with us, bringing you information and recite all of those marvelous birthdays of people of notoriety and entertainment reporting. So that's all coming along your way. So stay with us. And as you come along, ladies and gentlemen, please give us your weather forecast. We always like to know your weather forecast wherever you may be around the country, around the world. That's something that we do. And we would love to have that. And speaking of weather forecast, well, we have a sunny day right now in New York. That's temporary, okay? We got 39 degrees outside right now. That's where we stand right now. And we had a couple of warm days. We were like up in the 50s past couple of days, but we're not going to go that high today. As a matter of fact, the weather forecast looked like this today. As I said, it's 39 degrees. It's going to be sunshine and a few clouds this afternoon. We'll have a high around 44 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. For tonight, it'll be cloudy with rain developing after midnight. We'll have a low 37 degrees. Winds southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour, and a chance of rain will be 90%. That's a big chance of rain. Occasional rain for Saturday. We'll have a high of 53 degrees, and winds will be south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain, even a better chance of 100%. And rainfall will be 1/4 inch. Saturday night, well, if you're not going out, and we hope that you don't, where are you going to go anyway, right? Saturday night, partly cloudy skies early and becoming overcast later on that night. During the night, we'll have a low around 40 degrees. Winds will be northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And as we wrap up our weekend, we look forward to Sunday, and it looks like this is going to be rain likely, high around 45 degrees. Winds will be east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain, another 100% chance. Rainfall around a 1/2 inch. And looking at our present temperature, as I said before, we've got 39 degrees out there. But the sun is out presently here in New York. So we want to find out later on in your area what your area is like as far as the weather forecast is concerned. So anyway, we're live, and for those of you who don't know, we come out of New York City. That's where we originate, coming out of New York City every day. Well, every day I'm in New York City, every day, until I'm able to travel. Now, we don't know when that's going to happen. But like I do every week, I give that hearty hand clap, nice round of applause. And the nice round of applause go for the people, like the doctors and the nurses and all the hospitals, all hospital personnel and all the first responders, like the police officers and the firefighters. They've been with us since the beginning of this pandemic, which, by the way, March is coming up right around the corner. And March is when the pandemic started. I mean, we knew it was coming along before then, but it actually took place in March. So it's been almost a year now. And the police officers and firefighters and the nurses and the doctors and all hospital personnel have been there on the spot all the time. Now, in the beginning of it all, when the pandemic was high, when we were in that big zone, that big target, right? There were, less beds, not a lot of beds, not a lot of hospital space, and it was scary. And as we reach this second spike, which is the big one, we're still in a pandemic right now. We're still there. And we want to make sure everybody's safe. So with that in mind, we want to make sure that all of you take precautions as usual and wear your mask and continue to wear your gloves and all of those things that you need to protect yourself and others at the same time. Because when you do that, you protect not only yourself, but you protect the people around you, your family, your friends, your neighbors, all of that, and all around your community. And we urge you to do that. Now, a lot of people didn't get on board yet. Still a lot of people didn't get on board yet. And we wish they would, because it's a terrible time right now. And the faster you think about that, the faster you do this, the quicker we can get over this pandemic. So therefore, we want to thank you guys for continuing to be diligent and continue to wear the mask. I want to say hello to Cherie Carpenter. And Cherie just popped in. Good morning to you, Cherie. We thank you so much for being aboard with us. A lot of people are coming in. I want to wave to all of you guys who are coming in. More people are coming in, so I want to wave to you guys too as well. And to all of our friends on the YouTube side. YouTube is watching us, and we thank you so much for being there with us. So getting back to the pandemic, I want to tell you that if you're watching this show, right, on Facebook, you know that I keep the information up there, as you can see. And I should have provided to the people on the YouTube side, but you can always go onto my Facebook page and check out the information down in the subject area. If you're looking up here, looking over here, looking down there, wherever you may be looking, however you're watching this show, you'll see all the information up there where you have the name of the show and today's date, and underneath that I have information like my email address and my telephone number. Underneath that, you'll see it says COVID-19 and it has a telephone number next to it. Now, that's a local New York telephone number, but it doesn't matter. All around the world, it will give you the same information any other local number that would give you as well. It will give you information on how to get the test, where to get the test. It will answer your questions about the virus, which we have a lot of questions about it. It keeps going. But everybody is talking now about taking that test. You take it as often as possible. Do that. Make that part of your plan too. Take it as often as possible. And so this way we can get an idea, you can get a handle on where your present health is. And just in case, God forbid, you happen to pop up positive, there's always a way to do something about that. You go into quarantine for about 10 to 14 days or whatever is required. And then, continue to wear your mask and your gloves. Now, we know that the vaccines are out now. As a matter of fact, we've got 3 of them out. We're waiting for one to be approved, which is the Johnson & Johnson J&J vaccine. We're waiting for that to be approved right now. But in the meantime, there are 2 vaccines that we have. We have the Pfizer. We also have the Moderna vaccine. And those 2 vaccines, you have to take twice. You have to take those 2 doses you have to take. Not at the same time, not the same day, but you take the required 2 doses. And that will take care of everything for the time being. And you can get it from your doctor, you can get it from your pharmacist, when it comes to your area, whenever you get it, whenever it comes in. And it's not available to everyone yet. I just found out this morning, I got a phone call this morning telling me that the vaccine came into my area. So I'm going to go visit the pharmacist. It came to my pharmacist. So I'm going to go to my pharmacist across the street to see if that is really true. And if it is, then I'm going to make my appointment immediately. And so many people are taking it. Regular people like you and I are starting to jump on board. They're starting to take it now. So we're going to wait for all of that. And so when it happens again, please take it. But in the meantime, use those numbers. The number that I just gave you up there. Now, I'm pretty sure in your area, wherever you may be, you have local numbers that will provide you with the same information. And your local number will have the number that you can call, and you can say, okay, I need to know information about it. They'll give you information, whatever you want to know about it. Plus, they'll give you information on where to go to get your test. Okay, and the test is not that it's not that bad. Slightly uncomfortable, just slightly uncomfortable, but it's not that bad. You're not going to go out there yelling and screaming. That's for sure. And it only takes 5 seconds to do, and after that, you're on your way. But that those numbers, like I say, everybody has a local number in their area. Please use it. Call up and find out, get information, because you don't have to go too far these days to get the test, because there are places all over the world, all over the place. Like, let's say, for instance, here in New York, we are cut down to 5 boroughs: Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, and Staten Island. Now, when that comes around, you don't have to go out of your borough. They can. All you have to do is give them your zip code, and they'll tell you right away. Okay, what your zip code is. You're just about 5 blocks away from a center near you. They'll tell you the nearest one nearest you, the nearest you, and you don't have to go out of your borough. Unless of course you just want to get out of your borough just for the heck of it. And there are certain places where you can just walk right in there. And if you need a quick test, you can do that too. It takes like 15 minutes. Let's say, for instance, if you're traveling, and we hope that you don't have to really travel for any reason, but for any reason, if you really have to jump on a flight, emergency travel, or whatever it is, you're going to have to take a test anyway. And they have the test where you can take it, just that quick. It takes like 15 minutes before the results, 15 to 20 minutes of the results. But you'll have to call to get more information. They'll know better than I. Call your local number. And that number that I was telling you about in New York, that other number is 311. We'll give you all kinds of information. New Yorkers, that's New York number. 311, that's a local number in New York City only, and they have all of that information. Now, that particular number, 311, they give you information about New York City as a whole. Where to go, what to do, people to say, restaurants, the whole 9 yards. And of course, along with that, they can give you information about COVID-19. They can answer your questions on that, and also give you information on where you might get the test nearest you. All right. So the vaccines are coming out. I see more people are coming in. So I want to say hello to Naoto. He just popped in from Kobe, Japan. Good morning to you. He says good evening. And I'll say good evening to him because it's after midnight where he is in Japan. So it's a Saturday over there where he is. We didn't get our Saturday yet. We're reaching it, Naoto. Bryant Camp just popped in, and he'll be along in a few minutes with the latest developments in today's world of sports. DJ Pete popped in. Good morning, DJ Pete. And he's going to come 22 the hour with his segment on the 2020 segment, the 2020 feature. Entertainment, and he'll recite all of those birthdays that come along. And let's see. Cherie just dropped me a note here. She says, "Are you?" Says, "What is she?" I don't know if this is for me, but I'll read it out anyway. She says, "Are you braver? Oh, are you braver than I? I don't know. Are you braver than I don't know what that means. I guess I'm a little brave, yeah." She says, "My husband got his. Of course, that's great. I'm glad to hear about that. Her husband got hers. Of course, he is 80 years old, young. I said 80 years old, but he's 80 years young. That's what she says here. He's 80 years young. God bless him. That's the guy born with the smile on his face. But I believe it was a rush job on developing it, and not enough data, however you pronounce it, not enough data or data on results. Not going to be a guinea pig. So I would take it, Cherie, you didn't take you didn't get the vaccine, right? I would take it right now. You didn't get it yet, right? You're kind of skeptical. A lot of people are, but her husband took it. How is your husband feeling, by the way, after taking his? How long ago did he take it, and how is he feeling now? That should give you some insight. Let me know about that. It's something, and Cherie is not alone about this. She's not alone. She's wondering. She says she thinks that it was developed too quick, and there's a lot of people who think that way too. So that's why we have to, you take your time, and when you feel it comes to your area, some people didn't come to their areas, but when you take your time and think about it, dream on it, and do more research, visit more people, talk to other people who has had it, and talk to people who are about to get it and see how they feel about it too. But Cherie, you're not alone. You're not alone. Naoto just gave me a weather forecast in Kobe, Japan. It's 38 degrees and it's cloudy. It's a cloudy night right now in Kobe, Japan. And he said, did you see a snowy owl in Central Park? I've never seen a snowy owl, and I've never even seen an owl. And I love owls, Naoto. I've never seen an owl in Central Park. I've never even seen an owl in New York. I'm pretty sure they're around, but I just never seen one. And I love owls. I just love them. They're cute little creatures. I love them. No, I've never seen one, Naoto. Never seen one. Many media says it's the first time since 1890. It's the first time since 1890. Okay, I guess that kind of answers the questions why I've never seen one. And would spring come soon? Well, we're waiting. We just had our first taste of spring here in New York just a couple of days ago. Yesterday and the day before that, we were like in our 50s. It was very nice out there, but we're not going to get fooled by that weather. That's what I call got you weather. I mean, it'll tell you, okay, we're warming up, we're getting there, we're almost at summer, we're almost at spring, and we're getting there. And then all of a sudden you take off your jacket and your scarves and your hats and everything, and you go out, with no sleeves on, and gotcha. And now you're stuck with a cold. So be very careful, all right? Don't go along with the weather that quick. Just kind of like feel it out. Feel it out. Please feel it out. Okay, so Cherie says she didn't take the test yet. Okay, but her husband is strong. He said he feels strong. He's strong as an ox. That's what she says. He's strong as an ox. But hey, listen. Why don't you? Did you ask your husband? How does he feel? Did he recommend that you take it anyway? Because I'm pretty sure he's concerned about you as his wife. He's concerned. He wants to see you healthy. What does he say about it? Does he say to you, well, I should take the test anyway, whatever, don't be so suspicious or anything like that? I'm going to talk to him. I mean, he took the test. He knows better than you. He knows better than you. He took it and you didn't. All right. Okay, so let's see. Excuse me, guys. I got to take a shot of this. So people, you take your time, like Cherie, she's kind of, waiting around for it. She doesn't want to take it immediately, but I'm pretty sure you're going to eventually take it, right? I suppose you are. I hope you are. And everybody is wondering. So yeah, you're not alone on that. A lot of people are wondering. A lot of people are waiting and concerned about it, and particularly in the African American and Latino community, they're a lot of people skeptic on that part about taking that test. So they're trying to get you to come around to understand that it's a safe test, and the doctors and the scientists they're banking on it. And people who have taken a test, the president of the United States take it, and he looks healthy right now. He looks okay. There was no signs of side effects on his part. He feels good. Other people have taken it. I've known people personally who have taken it. They're feeling good so far. So I don't know. You look at those things as well as, watch the news every day and see what you can get out of it. But Cherie, I don't blame you. I can't really say I really blame you. Take your time. Think on it. That'll be great. Okay, so Cherie says her husband says it's your choice. That's what he's saying. So he's not forcing you. He's not saying you should take it. He's just saying it's your choice. He made his choice, and he says now it's your choice. but I'm pretty sure in the back of his mind he's saying, "Please, honey, take it, take it." And okay, but I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure. Did he take it long ago? Do you know how long ago he took it? I don't, unless you gave me that answer and I passed it up. I don't know. Uh, so Cherie says, "No, I am very independent, as you know," and I get, and you're right because I've known her a long time. She's a very independent woman, so she says, "No, no, 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 no. I'm not taking it right now." Okay, test is one thing, shot is another. Yeah, that's true. Test is one thing, shot is another. You know, and well, do you at least take the test? Do you at least take the test? How about that? Because you want to make sure that you want to stay. If you're negative right now, you want to say you want to stay as negative as possible. What you took it about a month ago, right? About a month ago. Okay, that sounds good. You might want to take it again as often as possible. I took mine like a couple of weeks ago, and I usually wait around to like every month and see how it goes along. But we'll see about it. I want to hear what Brian has to say about it too. I know he earlier at one time he said something about the test, but we've got him from Charlotte, North Carolina, and he's here to give us the latest developments in today's world of sports and maybe comment on that vaccine. What do you say?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm leaning towards taking it now because, this is more of a faith thing. I put my faith in God than in man. So I'm going to wait until it's my time. It's not my time yet, but right now I am leaning towards it. I know a lot of people who are Christians say, "I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to let them." Well, you know what? I could flip that around. So, let's put our faith in God, and that's what I'm going to do. But right now, I'm leaning towards it. As of right now, I spoke to all of my doctors. They think that I should take it. I spoke to other people who have ailments, the same ailments that I have, and they are taking it. I've been tested at least 4 or 5 times for the COVID-19, and I've been, negative each time because I practice safety. I know some people practice safety and still caught it. So, I know one thing, you got to build up your immune system. That's one thing. You definitely have to build up your immune system. That helps a lot. So I lost a lot of friends, a lot of people that I know, and it's a mental thing. It's a depression thing. It's a high, anxiety thing. So I just hope and pray. I'm still praying on it and everything to see how it works out. But good morning to everyone, to Pete, to Naoto, and everybody that's out there. It's good to be alive in the land of the living. It's out here in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's going to be rainy today. It's going to be rain, 100% rain up until 10 o'clock tonight, according to what the forecaster says. But it's going to be 50 degrees. But the bigger news is tomorrow and Sunday. Tomorrow is going to be in the 60s, and Sunday is going to be near 80, around 78 degrees. It's going to be touching that 80-degree weather. So you know what that means? That means the smoker's on all year round anyway. But I'm definitely going to be out there. I might put on my shorts and just start cooking. But in sports, last Sunday, Deion Sanders started his coaching career at Jackson State. He started as a professional football player. Now he's a college coach. This is what he's made out to be. He won his first game, but it was a sad note. Some of his personal items were taken, later returned. So the school says it was misplaced, but Deion Sanders says one of his coaches claims that his sister walked in on a man in the process of committing the theft. So the main thing, he got it back, but you got to be careful with your belongings. It was a big thing for the whole week since last Sunday. Major League Baseball, former team president and CEO Kevin Mather has resigned due to a disparaged comment made on a Japanese player for not learning English. He also belittled a star from the Dominican Republic for his language skills and derailed another top prospect while admitting to manipulating his service time. And he also called the team's best pitcher very boring and overpaid. So Major League Baseball Players Association made a statement legally sustaining that not the comments as described as offensive and as highly disturbing yet critical, important, that to know that ownership and management can say anything they want to players and be treated as viewed by management. So he's out of a job. He was more like forced to resign, so this is not something that's good at all. Then in the NBA, the NBA and the NBA Players Association, as I said last week, was finalized and will have an all-star game. The skills challenge and the 3-point competition will be played before the actual all-star game, before the game, before tip-off, and then during the intermission, at halftime, they will have the slam dunk contest. So it's a downscale because usually All-Star Weekend in the NBA is a weekend thing, but this was now moved to Atlanta. It was originally supposed to have been for Indianapolis, but it's going to be moved to Atlanta on March 7th. They also agreed, both sides, the NBA and NBA Players Association agreed to give more than $2.5 million to the HBC schools, which stands for Historical Black Colleges and Universities. Commissioner Adam Silver, credited Chris Paul, the president, for bringing this together, and he's been a big proponent of the HBCU's colleges. And the Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms has already asked fans not to congregate for the All-Star game or visit the city of Atlanta. So much for that. Also, was disturbed to see this. This is flying around. I said I was going to get hit hard for this. So far, no calls. I guess people are agreeing with me. Brooklyn Nets superstar Kyrie Irving has an idea to change the NBA logo to honor Kobe Bryant. Now, Kobe Bryant's wife, Kobe Bryant died over a year ago, and his wife, Vanessa, fully supports it. Now, former LA Laker great and executive Jerry West is currently the NBA logo. He's been there since 1969. Now, West has supported the idea of the logo being changed in the past, but he thinks it should be Michael Jordan, in which he's been the greatest player he's ever seen. Now, me personally, I think Bill Russell should be on the logo. Now, I'm going to get a little deep here, so I don't want to offend anybody, but historically, back in the 50s and 60s and parts of the 70s, the city of Boston has been racially motivated. There's a lot of things that occur in Boston towards blacks. Bill Russell, houses analyzed, parts of some instances, his house was burned. The racial slurs was directed at him, but they loved Bill Russell for what he did for the Boston Celtics, but they didn't really want him to live there. So he went through a lot, as you've seen a picture over the years of the Cleveland Summit with Bill Russell, Jim Brown, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Muhammad Ali, fighting for social justice. And I think Bill Russell, is the ambassador of the NBA throughout the years, and I think that he should be not overlooked. No disrespect to Kobe Bryant, fine young man who had a wonderful life and a wonderful career. But I think Bill Russell paved the way for a lot of not only black players, but a lot of players, period. And, I don't know what it is like in the city of Boston. I know that they embraced those championship rings that he won for them. But back then, he was not embraced at all. So, no, I do not agree that Kobe Bryant should be the logo. I think Bill Russell should be the logo. And finally, in golf, let's keep our prayers for Tiger Woods, who's recovering from a lengthy surgery of a significant orthopedic injuries to his right lower extremities, suffering a single-car rollover crash crash hours was early on a steep roadway in the LA suburbs. Now, he wasn't driving fast. There was no skid marks, but he was driving on a steep curve, going downhill. So far, we learned that Woods had multiple open fractures to his right leg and had a rod placed in his tibia and screws and pins inserted to his foot and ankles during the emergency surgery. According to reports, that his airbags deployed and helped save his life. So when he impacted, the airbags opened up and braced his what was the word I want to use? Embraced contact with falling into the ground. Authorities said there was no immediate evidence that Woods was impaired. They did check for odor of alcohol or other drugs that he might be under the influence of substance. He's also, before the crash, just a week before, he was recovering from another back surgery. So right now, we're not interested in Tiger Woods' golf career, which he's one of the greats of all time. But we should be more concerned about him surviving this here accident. And our prayers go out to Tiger Woods, his children, and the rest of his family.
Yeah, that was that was a devastating sight to see. As I was watching the news a couple of days ago when it happened 7:00 in the morning, and just looking at that car. Well, you didn't actually see it, but they did multiple rollovers. And coming out of that road. Now, we discussed last night. Oh, by the way, just before I go there, do I still have a signal on Facebook? From what you can see, are we still on the air here? Can you tell me?
Yeah, I see you on Facebook. Yes.
Oh, okay. Because I lost my signal here, but I guess that's internal. What I was going to say, it was multiple rollovers, and looking at that road from what they show on the news, it was hard for me to fathom the thought how you can get into an accident that easy. Because from the images that they show, I didn't see any steep roads, but as we talked last night, there were. And I was just trying to find out how it happened when there were no skid marks and no brakes, no skid marks. And he just drifted over to the other side. He veered to the other side and then rolled over into the bushes. I couldn't figure that one out.
Well, some people implicated that he was headed for a meeting. We don't know. People's going to say what they think that he was doing or might have done, but only Tiger Woods would know. And that's if he's telling us a true story. But we don't know. We just got to wait until his recovery, where he's able to speak. But the main thing is he's alive.
Yeah.
I don't care about how many majors that he's away from Jack Nicholson, or his career. Financially, he's well sound for the rest of his life. But his life right now is more important than hitting a golf ball.
Yeah, I agree. Well, we keep those prayers coming up for him. They say one of the greatest. I think he's the greatest golfer of all time. All right, that's my opinion. Okay, and we'll just leave it at that. Okay, Brian, thanks a lot. We'll catch you back here next week. Have a great weekend.
Okay, enjoy the weekend.
You too. Take care. Okay, that was Brian Camp bringing us the latest developments in today's world of sports. He's here every week. And devastating news, only 45 years old, young guy, 45 years old. And we just keep our fingers crossed. It's going to be a long, long recovery for him. But he's lucky to be alive. And he's responding very well, I'm told. And he's aware. He's aware of his surroundings, So that's good news right there. The rest of them, we're going to have to just keep praying for them. You're watching Coffee Hour. We're here, and we're here up until 11 o'clock Eastern, as we always, every week. Check your time zone. That's Eastern. Check your time zone and make sure that you're on the right time zone. I lost an eternal signal here in the studio, but I understand we're still on the air, so thank you guys for being along with us. I'm just shifting the monitor over to the YouTube side, and that's still kicking, so that's okay. Oh, by the way, speaking of YouTube, while Brian was doing the sports, I posted the information, the COVID virus information, all the information that I passed on to the people who are watching Facebook. I just put it up there for you people who are watching YouTube. All the information, the COVID-19 test number, and let's see, the email address and everything there, email address, telephone number that you can contact me personally. It's all right there. So there you go. Thank you so much for being along with us. And so that ends off our first half of the 2020 feature. The next half of the 2020 feature is coming up in about 5 minutes. DJ Pete will be along, and he'll bring you information in entertainment, and he will recite all of those birthdays of all of those marvelous people, past and present, in entertainment. People of notoriety. That's what I call them. People of notoriety. I want to tell you about my new podcast. I got a new podcast. It's called The Blue Cafe. And I developed that show. I developed that show when I retired my show Music Beat and my other DJ shows from the past. I retired all of those shows in December. But that doesn't mean I can't still push the music. Anyway, it's a new talk show. It's a talk show that I have where I talk to people of newsmakers and people of entertainment notoriety and not notoriety. It doesn't have to be notoriety, but people of entertainment and newsmakers. And this week's, or I would say this new podcast and this new episode, I interviewed the legendary Jimmy Clanton. And Jimmy Clanton goes back to the old days of the 1950s and 60s. And those of you who are baby boomers know who he is. Anyway, I interviewed him this week, and it's out right now. I released it Wednesday, and it's out on the website. Now, you can go to the website. That's the podcast website. And if you look up in that area where I just gave you the information, and for you guys on YouTube, it's right there for you, too. You can see it right there. Just go there. It says The Blue Cafe, and underneath The Blue Cafe, it has the direct link to the podcast website, and you go there, just link it, and you go right there, and you'll see it right there. The Jimmy Clanton interview that I did. It's an hour show, and we did that, and of course, the one we did before that with Bobby Wilson, the son of Jackie Wilson, is still there too. So you have both of them to listen to. And every once in a while, we'll come out with a great interview with someone. And those of you who are entertainers or want to be entertainers, and we look at people, new groups, we'll talk to you too. And we talk to people who maybe you're an author, maybe you're a poet, or whatever it is you want to be on the show. Get in contact with me. That contact information is up there too. I have the telephone number and an email address. And someone will get back to you, and we'll hook you up. We'll see what we can do about that. But please, and I'll tell you more about that later. I'll repeat myself about the Blue Cafe. We'll talk more about that too. But we move along, and I want to continue to say hello to all of you people who are popping into our show. I'll just say hi. You guys are there. I see they're popping in. More people are popping in. So I just want to say hi to you guys. And you guys have a wonderful weekend. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful weekend. And it's there. There's more people. There they go. They're having a good time. They're right there. Okay. Thank you. On the radio show last night, we talked about here in New York, Governor Cuomo is about to open up or reopen restaurants and bars, so you can go into them. For me personally, I find that a little bit uncomfortable. I find that a little bit uncomfortable. And so therefore, what I'm going to do, I'm going to wait around there. But he said he's going to open up the bars and the restaurants, and you can go in there, but they're going to limit it to 30 people. Now, I'm pretty sure you could also, if you can't get inside the building, if you can't get inside, I'm pretty sure they still have the outside seating. But we'll talk more about that in a few minutes. But right now, I want to go over to Portland, Maine, where I'm pretty sure their weather is pretty frigid, like the weather we had.
Good morning, Frank. Good morning, Bryant, and everybody else.
Was I right about the weather being? Was I right about the weather being frigid?
Well, it's only 27 degrees. That's
only okay.
Warm.
Okay.
That's pretty warm here.
Okay, for Maine, I guess that's warm.
Sunny and 27 here in Portland, Maine. Lows tonight 25. We got good weather today. I got about a half a dozen or so names for this week. And let's see, where am I going to start? I'm going to start with Eunice Kathleen Wayman, who was professionally known as Nina Simone, American singer, songwriter, musician, civil rights activist. Some of her famous tunes, "I Loves You, Porgy," and the other one here, "My Baby Don't Care for Me." Here,
not anymore.
Great. What'd you say, Frank?
I said not anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah. So she was born this week, February 21st, 1933. Next we have Edwin Leon Chambly, also known as Eddie Long Gone Chambly, American tenor sax and alto sax player. Played a lot of jazz and R&B. Alan Freed loved him a lot. One of his famous tunes, "Backstreet," was on the R&B charts 1949. So he was born February 24th, 1920, this week. Also born this week, February 27th, 1932, Dame Elizabeth Rosamond Taylor, also known as Elizabeth Taylor, English-American actress, businesswoman, humanitarian. Started her career as a child actress in the early 1940s. One of her famous tunes, I should famous films, I should say, is "Cat on a Hot Tin Roof," 1958. If anybody knows the Bryant Orchestra, he does a tune called "This Cat on a Hot Tin Roof." Let's see, born this week, February 26, 1928, Antone Dominique Domino Jr.,
yep,
also known as Fats Domino.
He's 93 today.
American pianist, songwriter, rock and roll music was one of his big things in the late 50s, early 60s. He had 11 top 10 hits between 1955 and 1960 on U.S. pop charts. Blueberry Hill was one of his tunes. Ain't That a Shame, Walkin' the Fat Man. Blueberry Hill, just a little reference here. That tune has been around for a long time, at least the 1930s. And I forget who originally did it, but either Benny Goodman or Glenn Miller did a version of it in the 1940s. It's a tune that's been around for a long time. And Fats just did a really great version of it back in the day.
Do you know who else sang that song? Do you know you know who else sang that song? Believe it or not, Vladimir Putin.
Who?
Vladimir Putin sung that song.
Yeah.
I swear. When you get a chance, go on YouTube and look it up. He did it live. He did it live in front of an audience.
It was written by Vincent Rose, published in 1940. Lyrics by Larry Stock and Al Lewis, recorded on Victor Records by the Sammy Kaye Orchestra. So, that tune's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Born this week, February 25th, 1943, George Harrison of the Beatles, English musician, singer, songwriter. He was also a film producer, too. I'm not sure what films he did here, but I'm just reading his info here. A lot of great tunes with the Beatles and outside the Beatles. Taxman, Within You, Without You, While My Guitar Gently Weeps, Here Comes the Sun, and many more. His big influence was George Formby, Django Reinhardt, Carl Perkins, Chet Atkins, Chuck Berry, and I'm sure a few more. If you listen to the early Beatles, you'll hear Carl Perkins, Chet Atkins, Chuck Berry sounds in their music that George took for the Beatles. Let's see, who else do we have? Born this week, February 26, 1932, John R. Cash, also known as Johnny Cash, nicknamed the Man in Black. He actually had a tune by that name. Folsom Prison Blues, Get Rhythm, Walking the Line, A Boy Named Sue,
Yeah.
Rock Island Line, many more, many great tunes by Johnny Cash.
And he's 89 today.
He passed away in September 2003.
Yeah.
But he was an American singer, songwriter, musician, and also an actor here. And let's see who else I did. Elizabeth Taylor, I did that. Oh, and last I got here, Billy Jack Wills. Billy Jack Wills was the brother of the famous Western swing musician in the 1940s by the name of Bob Wills. Bob Wills had his band Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys. Billy Jack Wills was influenced a lot by the Western style music growing up, and he played a lot of what we call Western swing, which is basically big band tunes with a country Western style to it, and twang also. He was born this week, February 26, 1926, in Memphis. In Memphis, Texas, that is, not Tennessee. Check out Billy Jack Wills. He's got a lot of great tunes. Cadillac and Model A is one of his known numbers there, and many more. He covered a Bill Haley tune, Crazy Man Crazy, also, with a Western style twang to it. And that's what I got today, Frank.
Oh boy. Michael Bolton is 68 today. Mitch Ryder of the Detroit Wheels, remember them?
Vaguely.
Vaguely. Well, he's 76. Bunny Briggs go back a long way. He's an American dancer. He's a dancer. He would have been 98. And Betty Hutton, who's, by the way, not related to Lauren Hutton. Betty Hutton, she was an actress. 100 years ago, she would have been 100 years.
Wow.
And that's all I got. What can I tell you? So that's about it. Hey, Pete, thanks a lot. I guess
thank you. And, shout out to Frank and everybody else tuning in today and in Facebook and YouTube world. I'm going to drop my radio show information in the comments here, and hope to see you again.
Okay, we'll see you next week.
All right, take care. Bye.
Have a great weekend. That was DJ Pete, of course. He's here every week with us, and that's his part of the 2020 feature, as he does every week. He gives us information of people of entertainment and recites those birthdays of people of notoriety. So there you go. So that completes our 2020 feature for today. Thank you guys for doing that for us. If you're just tuning in, of course, this is the Coffee Hour. And of course, the Coffee Hour comes to your way every week at this time between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. Eastern. Check your clocks on that. Make make sure that they're synchronized so you can be here on time every week. And those of you who can't join us for the full show, we at least like to thank you for how long you stay with us. And most people today, well, at least a long time ago they did. They used to get 15-minute coffee breaks. So I don't know that they get any coffee breaks at all. But if you happen to be at your desk and you have your computer, you could always watch us here on Facebook or on YouTube, and you can spend the whole time with us while you're working. You know, it's just like listening to the radio. You know how you listen to the radio while you're working? Well, you can view us while you're working. You know, we're not that much of a distraction, but we have a lot of fun every week anyway. Thank you so much for being along with us. And we were talking about opening restaurants that Cuomo is going to do. Now, as I said, I'm not really comfortable with all of that just yet. Hopefully, I will, you know, when it comes around to it, but I want to make sure that everybody is safe. We can do everything in a safe manner. And so we're going to have to see. I don't know if he's done it already or if that's his plan. From what I see walking around New York, everybody's doing outdoor things right now. Now, the weather is not that cold where people have to, you know, like stay indoors. As a matter of fact, if the weather is a little bit chillier than normal, then what they do, you can still go in with they're sectioned off like bubbles. And you can go in there and there's a heating device there which will keep you warm while you're dining. And they're still doing that. So everybody's being creative in this pandemic. We never thought that it would come to this, but people are being creative. And the people who own restaurants and bars and all kinds of franchises like that, they're trying to keep their heads above water. They still want to make their money, and they create things like this so they could stay in business. Some businesses has closed already. They just couldn't take the heat. And they closed. Some are closed temporarily, and they will open back when it's a little more safe. But in the meantime, they still have to pay the rent to the place that they're housing. And it's a lot. It's a lot. And we just never thought it would come down to this. But hopefully, well, they're saying that by the time Christmas comes around, we should be a little bit normal than usual. I don't know if we're going to stop wearing the mask yet. You know, we're going to have to see about that. I continue to wear mine. I hope that you continue to wear yours. They're very easy to work with. And they look something like this, right? And you can get these things. They're cheap. They're dirt cheap. And if you want to pay extra money, you can buy the real safe, the ones that they use in the hospital. I forgot the name of the number of the mask. I know Brian Camp has one of those masks. Brian, tell us what's the number of those masks that you buy? What's the number of the masks that you buy? Let me see. But these are the standard ones. You can get these, right? And they're easy to wear. They're a little bit, listen, the mask, I'm not going to lie to you, they're a little bit uncomfortable sometimes. You know, you're breathing and everything. And they're trying to find ways to make it a little more, I guess, tolerable for you to wear these things when you go out. But it's not like, and I hope that you're not like going to be out there all day, so you have it on there for as long as you're out there. And if you're going out shopping or something like that, you wear them because they're not going to let you in these supermarkets without it. There was a big thing in the beginning where people started to protest about it, that they had the right to be in a supermarket or any other public place where they don't have to wear the mask. And now people are wearing them. They decided that, you know, well, if I'm going to have to buy food, then I'm going to have to wear the mask. Now, what you do in your own time after that, you don't want to wear your mask. You know, that's totally on you. I would be very happy if you did. You know, I really would be very happy if you did because, you know, you count just as well as anyone else. Your life is just as important as anybody else. And so, you know, when you protect yourself with that, you protect others. And, you know, it gives the virus a hard time or a hard place to travel. There's not many places that virus can go as long as we're protecting ourselves in the order that we're supposed to be doing, like wearing the mask and wearing the gloves and things like that. So please do that. Please do that. And so here's a little more coffee for you. Salute, Gendani. Went down the wrong pipe right there. Anyway, In case you're just joining us, it's the coffee hour. For those of you who are on YouTube, thank you for joining us. We're here with you as well every week. This is our second week with YouTube. So, it was successful last week, and we're here this week again. And so we thank you for being with us. And so we just want to give that hearty wave out to you guys who are chimed in and being part of us. Okay. All right, let me tell you about, let's see, DJ Pete has a show. Of course, his radio show. And let's see what he has here. You can catch DJ Pete on the radio. Let me see. Right there. You can catch DJ Pete on the radio. And you can go to www.radioairwaves.co.uk. And you can catch him there Mondays at 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. and on Thursdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Also, you can catch him on www.wmpg.org. Now, if you're in, let's see, Maine, if you're in Portland, Maine, you can check it out on the radio. But if you can't get to the radio, go to the website, www.wmpg.org. And he's on every Tuesday, or every other Tuesday, I should say, between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m., 8:30 p.m. and 10 p.m., and all times are Eastern. So everything is Eastern, so make sure that you check your clocks and your watches and make sure that you're on the right time. And everything over here, too, here in New York is Eastern, so we want you to know that. It's now coming up to 4 minutes to the hour, 4 minutes left before it's quitting time. I don't know what you guys are going to do on the weekend, but I'm pretty sure all you have to do is watch a good movie. Remember the old days? They used to have Blockbuster. You don't need Blockbuster anymore. You know, if you pay your cable bill, you don't need Blockbusters anymore. You rent the video. That's back then when they were renting VHS tapes, right? You pop the tape in the machine and go, go, go. And the thing about it is that when you bought the tape back, you had to rewind it to the beginning. Otherwise, they charge you a fee for that. We don't need that anymore. All you have to do is go on demand. And they have a lot of great movies out this weekend. And so go on demand and check out the networks. As you already know, my thing is all of the classic movies, the black and whites. So you go to Turner Classic Movies, you can find a lot of things there. And so whatever you do, you just do that. Sit back, relax, and enjoy good food, good drink, and just stay home. You know, if you have nothing to do other than that, just stay home, forget about it. You know, what's outside? And especially if you're living in New York, you're not going to go too far anyway, because we're going to get a little wet weather. You know, sugar melts and you shouldn't be out there. So, so that's what's going to happen. So interesting movies, check it out. And when DJ Pete was reciting all the birthdays, he mentioned Elizabeth Taylor. You know, it's funny that you mentioned Elizabeth Taylor. I saw a classic movie just the other day with Elizabeth Taylor back in 1950 with Spencer Tracy. Back in 1950, called Father of the Bride. Remember that? It's an old comedy, Father of the Bride. And Elizabeth, she was real young. She had to be like at least 20 years old at the time. But, you know, since he mentioned Elizabeth Taylor, yeah, that was a good movie. All those classic movies. The thing I like about that movie was at the last part of that movie, when he had that little waltz with his wife, Joan Blondell. Joan Blondell played his wife in that movie. And they did the little waltz, the little dance together to the tune called Good Night, Sweetheart, da 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 da. I thought that was a sweet scene. Anyway, besides all of that, you can check out a lot of other movies. So do that. I am going to wave bye-bye to you guys. Bye-bye. No, I got to go. I want you to check out my podcast. Don't forget to check out my podcast, The Blue Cafe. And if you go up there, look down there or over here, wherever you see all the information up there. But at the very bottom, you see it says The Blue Cafe. And for all of you YouTube watchers, too, it's there, too. The Blue Cafe. Go there and check it out. Jimmy Clanton is my guest on this new episode. And there's another one down there. I have two there. But the latest one is one with Jimmy Clanton. Check it out. Also did the one with Bobby Wilson, the son of Jackie Wilson. And check it out. Also, you can check me out next week, next Thursday, every Thursday between 8 and 9 p.m. on Facebook Live Radio. We do Talkback Live, and we'd like to have you there as well. Other than that, I'll be back here next week for more of the coffee hour. I hope that you're here with us as well. I want to wish all of you a great day, a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay home, and I'll see you back here next week. Take care, buddy.